Hey, Mark here, Director of Product Management, and we have Kevin.
Yep. Hey everyone, I lead go-to-market operations and strategy for Clari.
He's our revenue guru. So Kevin, today we're going to talk a little bit about linearity. So what is linearity?
Well, I think of linearity as an aspirational term,
Okay.
quite frankly, where revenue is evenly distributed amongst the 12 weeks in a quarter.
Yeah.
It is very hard to attain.
Yeah.
So I think practically speaking, linearity for
And
most...
it's also fair to say that, right? And so in standard terms, linearity is assumed to be generally 20, 50%,
Yeah,
100%. So 20% by the end of month one, 50% by the end of month two, and then of course you were supposed to hit quota by the end of month three. That's in general what we hear by linearity.
Yeah,
right?
and even for some businesses, it's any revenue before 8 weeks.
right. So it's not this complete hockey stick.
Yeah.
So tell me, why should companies care about linearity?
Yeah. Well, if you have linearity, you're really managing your downside risk because deals, as they start to, especially in subscription businesses
Yep.
where renewals, net new deals are all coming at the last month of the quarter,
Yep.
they start to pile up. And that becomes a heavy burden for the supporting cast members.
Yep.
So legal, CPQ, sales managers, and things can fall between the cracks or get pushed out. And so it's really an execution mitigation.
Yeah, so it puts a lot of pressure at the end of the quarter.
Yeah.
Is it also fair to say that it creates a lot of operational challenges when renewals come around, right? Because if all your contracts are signed towards the end of the quarter, then that means that all your renewals are going to be towards the end of the quarter. So you're going to have a challenge because you're also going to have to process those at the same time.
Absolutely,
right?
yeah. So I've seen companies actually take the renewal teams and really have them focus on getting deals done 30 days before the renewal, or making 13, in some cases 13-month renewals, pushes it into the next quarter, which is an interesting play as well.
Interesting, yeah. So what do companies do to drive linearity? What are certain things, mechanisms that you can put in place to actually improve your linearity if you're not there today?
Yeah. So there's a couple different frameworks one could use. You can have 30-day quotas.
Okay, yeah. So not only a quarterly quota, but you also say that here's your quota for 30 days, and you're accountable for that. Yep.
Yep.
And I'm assuming that also means forecasting at a 30-day cadence, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. There's also there's also mechanisms and comp plans that you can mess around with, where you get a multiple if you close in the first month of the quarter versus the second or the third.
Yep. Is it also fair to say that if you have a higher run rate business in general, you'll be more linear, right?
Yeah.
So if you're working really big deals, then it's sort of natural that those will come towards the end. But if you have a higher run rate business, then you should aspire to be more linear.
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
So I also want to point out that so of course what we see is that companies are actually in fact linear. So it's not just a myth. And what we've also noticed is that companies that aren't linear actually tend to miss their forecast. So that's really important because linearity can actually be a sign that you are going to potentially miss your number. So in conclusion, linearity is not just a myth, right? It's a real number. You should in fact aim to close 20% by the end of month one, 50% by the end of month two, and then 100% of course by the end of quarter.
200%.
200%, yes, of course. Ways to drive linearity are monthly quotas.
Monthly quotas.
Monthly quotas in addition to your quarterly quota, as well as
we said monthly quotas. We also said incentives,
Yeah.
but we didn't talk about out quarter.
yes, of course, out quarter inspection, right? So out quarter pipeline inspection. If you start looking further out and you have a cadence to actually inspect your out quarter pipeline, then that's going to allow you to kind of spread things out throughout the quarter as opposed to wait till the quarter starts.
That's right.
And because that's naturally going to, if you wait till the quarter starts, you're naturally going to close all your deals towards the end of the quarter as opposed to being able to pull them in. Yeah. And of course, as we mentioned, linearity is an indication that you may or may not hit your number. So when you're calling your number at the end of month one and month two, look at how linear you are. If you're not linear, there's a good chance that you'll miss your numbers, what we've seen in the numbers.
Yep.
All right, well, thank you for listening. Hope this was helpful, and definitely feel free to drop a comment or tell us what else you'd love to learn about.
Thanks. Thumbs up.